My LD and AT story. Hi everyone, my name is Paige Vaccarella. I'm currently in my last year at Brock University, and I will be attending graduate school in the fall. Today, I'm going to share a little bit about how assistive technology is my lifeline, how it has allowed me to access and participate in the world just like you. Just like the way some of you may wear glasses to be able to see the board or hearing aids to be able to hear, I use assistive technology to be able to read and write. So here's a little bit about my story. Right from the get-go, I had trouble learning the alphabetic system, the days of the week, the months of the year, even how to spell my name. I was a dedicated young student committed to trying to do anything to improve my reading and writing ability. I was enrolled in reading intervention before, during, and after school 3 days of the week. However, despite these interventions, I still could not read at the same level as my peers. So in grade 3, I was placed on an individual education plan, and my teacher began to significantly modify my language arts program. As a young child, all I wanted to do was be able to read the same books as my friends or do the same work. My parents and I knew it was, not a lack of effort or motivation or ability to understand. For some other reason, I was not able to acquire the literacy skills needed to succeed at school. During my grade 4 year, I received a psychoeducational assessment and found out I had dyslexia, which still today I still cannot, spell my diagnosis. But at the time, I didn't really know what this meant, but my parents and the psychoeducational consultant that did the psychoed let me know that I am very intelligent, I'm very smart, I can learn. I just learn different because my brain's wired different. People may think that the day that I found out I had an LD was this terrifying or scary day, but I could definitely tell you that it was a relief. It was probably one of the best days I've ever had because it's a relief to finally know why school was so challenging for me, why I couldn't read the same books as my friends or do the same work. And it was a relief to know that I was smart and that there were so many tools and strategies out there to allow me to be successful in the classroom. My diagnosis could not have come at a better time because the year that I got diagnosed, the school board that I was a part of was engaging in an assistive technology training program where individuals with LDs can go and learn about the different types of AT that were available and how we can use these tools to compensate for our needs within the classroom environment. I can definitely say going to this training program was a game-changing moment within my LD journey. With the use of speech-to-text software technology where the computer reads me text, I was now able to read text that I could not decode, but was easily able to comprehend. And with the use of speech-to-text technology, predictive text, and editing softwares like Grammarly, I was now able to demonstrate my learning, share my ideas, my knowledge, at the level that has allowed me to achieve a post-secondary education. My barrier is understanding how letters correspond to sounds and how to use this code to spell and decode words. Assistive technology is a tool I use to get around these barriers. There's no doubt in my mind I would not be where I am today without the use of AT. I think one important message I want to share with you today is that my need for assistive technology support does not end at the school building. I use assistive technology to navigate all areas of life. Just think about, times where you read or have to write to complete an activity or a test. Some examples may be reading a menu in a restaurant or trying to follow a cooking instructions or sending a text message, writing an email, completing an application. I can go on. Ironically, technology has opened up my world, but it also has allowed also increased reliance on, words and reading. I can tell you nobody calls anymore. Everyone just text and has group chats to be able to, communicate with each other these days. And for me, it's the absolute worst. I usually just avoid reading the text in the group chat and I call my best friend and I'm like, okay, what's the plans for tonight? What's going on? What are we going to do from here? I can definitely say, having an important and supportive support system that understands and accepts you for your gifts and your challenges is key to navigating a world that was not built for neurodiverse individuals like myself. Additionally, learning to laugh at yourself is something you're going to have to learn to do. The other day, I was presenting to my supervisor for my individualized thesis for 4th year, and instead of putting, brain, I put Brian. So you just got to kind of learn how to laugh at yourself. The evolution of assistive technology has not only made things easier for everyone, but it is necessary for people like me who rely on it to understand, communicate, participate in and outside this academic world. Fast forward through my LD journey, I am now in 4th year at Brock University, completing a double major in child and youth and psychology. I'm not gonna lie, my post-secondary journey has not been easy. In order to receive an accessible education, I've had to self-disclose to the accessibility office, to professors, to TAs, even to some of my classmates. For myself, self-disclosing means educating others about myself before they make pre-assumptions about what I'm capable of and what I'm not capable of. In the past, I've been seen as incompetent because of my inability to read or spell at grade level. And telling others about my learning profile allows me to break down these pre-existing assumptions and myths or beliefs and allow them to know that I am capable. I just may need some extra supports and strategies or accommodations, such as the use of AT to participate and access the same curriculum and education just like they are. Despite, self-disclosing and having an official documentation to allow me access to assistive technology, there's been times within my undergraduate degree where course curriculum wasn't presented in an accessible way. For instance, one time I went into seminar, and during seminar I was given a piece of paper where my TA was like, read this and answer questions out loud, and I was like, well, okay. I'm not able to read, the story that was on the script, so I just kind of passed and went over to my TA after class and said, is there any way I could receive this sheet before class so I can scan it, I can use my technology to read it to me, and then come to class prepared and able to participate just like all the other classmates? And they were more than willing to kind of make that accommodation for me. Additionally, within 3rd year, it wasn't until a month into the semester that I received my electronics copies of my books that I paid for at the beginning of the semester. Despite the increased, understanding of learning disabilities and knowing that accommodations are necessary for us to be able to be successful in this post-secondary environment, there continues to be an accessibility barriers within the system. And I believe if it wasn't for my strong self-advocacy ability and my knowledge in my right to receive an accessible education, I would not be where I am today. I've gotten to where I am today not in spite of my disability, but rather because of it. And yes, it will always come with some difficulties and challenges, but at the end of the day, it makes me who I am. Lastly, I want to thank you for listening to my LD and AT story, as I believe educating others about the importance of AT for neurodiverse learners will help bust the myths around AT and LD and help break down the barriers that will allow all learners to have equal access to the world just like you. Thank you. The last thing I want to share today is that being different can be your gift. Thank you for listening.